Today we gather to honour the life of Helen Lorraine Nicholls, a loving and devoted wife, mother, daughter, sister and friend. This is a time to be together, to share your pain and thoughts, a time to help each other get through this incredibly hard experience. My name is Kate Adkins and I have the privilege of officiating this service today. Together at the chapel this morning, I welcome Helen's husband Darren, her beloved children Dylan and Rhiannon, Helen's parents Anne and Lindsay. Also here supporting Darren, Rhiannon and Dylan and helping celebrate Helen's life are Darren's mum Margaret, sister Carol and nephew Jared, Mary, Helen's aunt, Louise, her best friend, Letitia, Helen's foster child, and Helen and Darren's lifelong friend Terry. A special welcome to everyone who is joining us via live stream today, especially Helen's sister Shannon and family, as well as best friend Lizzie in Queensland. Helen's death is still so hard to comprehend. Our grief and sorrow is all the more painful by the passing of someone who had so much more to give. Nothing in life can prepare us for the loss of someone we love. And for a deeply loved family member and friend, it will always be too soon from the heart and mind to cope with, especially someone you would have thought to have many, many more years to come. It is natural to feel the injustice and for the sadness to burn deeply. Helen, otherwise known as Helza, was important to each of you in different and very special ways. Her spirit will live on in all of you, and although we mourn her loss today, Helen's influence has not ended with her passing. Her warmth, love and values were given and shared with you all freely and will remain with you forever. This morning, time stands still for just a moment as we acknowledge someone who has touched our lives, who has left an eternal imprint on our hearts and our souls. Helen Lorraine Nicholls was born on the 19th of March 1971 to parents Anne and Lindsay Scan. She was born and raised in Tura along with her sister Shannon. Helen completed her schooling at Tura Primary and Foster High. Helen played netball, badminton, basketball and was exceptional at javelin, going on to compete at Albert Park. Helen married Darren on the 10th of October in 1998. They welcomed their children Dylan in 1994 and Rhiannon in 1998. Helen worked in childcare supporting the most vulnerable. She began by babysitting, later working in family daycare, as well as caring for children in foster care. Helen's ability to care, support and help disadvantaged children over the years with foster care was a big part of who she was. It takes someone incredibly special to do the work that Helen did. She was always there no matter what, always looking out for others. Dylan and Rhiannon told me how loving and supporting their mum was, teaching them to be who they are. They always felt safe and comfortable with Helen around. Music was a big part of Helen's life. She loved different genres and really took note of the lyrics and the meaning behind them. She was an avid reader, enjoyed a drink, with Jack Daniels and Sambuca being her favourites. She was also a one-eyed Collingwood supporter, with Dane Swan being one of her all-time favourites, and I believe she has a Dane Swan shrine in the house. Helen developed a deep love for the water after joining her dad on many fishing trips. A big part of her childhood was joining him on his boat and always considered herself to be a fisherman's daughter. Helen enjoyed trips around Australia with Darren, as well as visits to Queensland to see her sister and best friend Lizzie. Dylan and Rhiannon remember the camping adventures to Dargo when they were young. Being around water was a big part of life for Helen, so anywhere she went, the water was nearby. Helen was proud to be herself, she loved to joke around, and she never took things too seriously. She was a passionate person with a big personality, and there was no denying her gift for caring for others. I'm now going to share some tributes from some of the special people in Helen's life. I never expected this day would come, that I would be saying my goodbye to the most beautiful person in the world. Helen Nicholls was a very important person in my life. She was that mum figure that I was always looking for and could never find. She's always been there during the highs and lows. We had some very fun times and some very bad times. One of the best times I can remember was probably 3 weeks ago when Helen got a phone call from my school saying that I was now working 2 days a week at Lulu's Cafe. My tutoring was going very well and that I'm now working at Year 5 level. The look on her face was unbelievable and just the biggest smile you could ever imagine. Foster care has always been hard for me, but this foster care placement was so much fun. Honestly, the best placement I've ever had. It still hasn't hit me. She was the most beautiful person I know. I'm going to miss her very badly, but she wouldn't want me to be sad. She would want me to remember all the happy times. I love you, Mum. Time to say goodbye for now. See you next time. From Helen's foster child, Letitia. Helza. Every time I go to write something, I don't know where to start. I can't believe you are not with us anymore. We have been friends for 28 years. We have many memories. Good, bad, had many laughs, shared tears, and loved having a drink together. Helza, you have always been there for me, and it breaks my heart that I haven't seen you for a while. You're one in a million, and for that I will forever cherish and be grateful for. You loved your family and friends and all of your foster kids. You would do anything for all of us. Anzac Day. We haven't done it for a while, but we loved our annual catch-ups, watching our beloved Pies versus Bombers. Footy tops on, fridge full of cans, both of us yelling or swearing at the TV. No matter what team won, we still had a great time. And your lover boy blow-up doll of Swanee, we had some fun with that too. Helza, there is so much more I'd love to say, but this is not goodbye, it's till we meet again. You'll always be sadly missed, loved and always remembered. Taken too soon. From Helen's good friend, Melissa. My favourite and most vivid memory of Helen was the day I took her to the doctors. She was so desperately trying for a baby, and at that time I was pregnant with my second baby, Chelsea. I will never forget her face when she walked out of the clinic with a beaming smile, and she ran to me, grabbing me, hugging me and telling me that she was pregnant. We were both jumping up and down with excitement. She was over the moon to be pregnant. 9 months later, she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy Dylan, and she was so smitten and happy to be a mum. We spent a lot of time together during our pregnancies. She was an amazing mother to her 2 beautiful children, and my heart breaks for this family whom she cherished so very much. I love you, Helen, and always have since I met you when we were 15, one of my oldest friends. You have always been there for me and my kids, and there was nothing we wouldn't have done for each other. You will forever be in my heart and thoughts. Love, Helen's friend, Paula. We have had some amazing fun times and sad times, but most importantly, I had you as my best friend. You weren't just my best friend, you were my sister from another mother. I write this with tears in my eyes and a broken heart as all the love and memories just keep flooding in. Well, where do I start? I remember this as if it was yesterday. I first met you when I was looking for a daycarer for my 3-month-old daughter, Tiffany. I remember rocking up to your house to meet you and to see if you were suitable to look after Tiffany. You started looking after her and even treated her like your own. You would ring me at work and tell me that you and your mum were going shopping and taking Tiffany with you, so don't stress if you weren't back when I finished work. I love the fact that I could leave my kids with you and know that they were safe and well looked after and loved. You did this for all three of my girls one way or another, and I thank you for that. Helza cursed me one night back in the day when we went out to a male strip show and I made her wear a miniskirt. We still laughed about that every time we caught up for a drink. Our camping trips, well, what can I say? They were the best and will never be the same again. Making the girls steal the clothes from the guys camping next door just so we could perv on them while the boys were away from the campsite. There were so many memories of our camping trips, and every one of them had a story. Helza, there is so many memories I have with you, too many to mention, but I'll hold them close to my heart and keep your memory alive by sharing them when I speak your name. I will always cherish our friendship and hold you deep in my heart and memories forever. Tears in my eyes I can wipe away, but the memories of you will always stay. This isn't goodbye, my friend, it's till we meet again. Love you, Helza, my dearest best friend. Love always, your Bethy. You were the only one that could call me Bethy. Love, Helen's best friend, Lizzie. Helza, I wish we could be saying all this to your face, even though you'd be laughing at us saying such nice things. The instant you met us, you welcomed us with the most open heart we have ever felt. Even though you tried to act like the toughest woman out, which you did very successfully. The time we were lucky enough to spend with you, you showed us so many things. But the way you let everybody in with the benefit of the doubt and sat back and just trust the process was so enlightening. You opened up your arms first and then let people prove you wrong. This is one of the strongest things we have ever seen and a true quality of yours. We know that you'll be watching over us and our family. The good and the bad, and having you in our corner will be the best protection. We want to thank you for being you and loving us. Cheers, Dirty Angel. You're forever in our hearts. Love, Liam and Jade, Helen's surrogate niece and nephew. My big sis, my friend, my day one. Words cannot express how much I love you and how much I will miss you. We joked we weren't sisters, that we didn't even look like sisters. You looked like Mum and I looked like Dad. That you had Dad's personality and I had Mum's. But we always agreed on what it was to be family, what it meant to be there for each other, supporting each other, and how no one could ever get between that. Helen, you were always larger than life. You were always cheeky. From calling me Shannon Dewey's when I was a baby because you couldn't or wouldn't say Shannon Louise. And continuing to say this all throughout my life because you knew it made me crazy. To sneaking out when we were kids, sorry Mum and Dad, or going to the pub underage, again, sorry Mum and Dad. Although we were miles apart, you were always there, looking out for me, always protecting me. Thank you for being there. The incredible courage, strength and love you had, supporting and looking after others, especially the most vulnerable kids, was something I always admired about you. You never turned your back on those in need. From family to friend to stranger, you put others first. I could not be prouder to call you my sister. Side by side or worlds apart, we are sisters connected by the heart. I hope you are at peace, that you are at pain-free, and know I am always with you. You may be gone, but you'll never be forgotten. Forever in my heart, love you, my big sis. Love, Helen's sister Shannon. Life brings tears, smiles and memories. The tears dry, the smiles fade, but the memories will last forever. Each and every one of you will have your own special memories and stories that you shared with Helen. I'm going to invite Helen's daughter Rhiannon to come forward and share her special memories of her loving mum before we take a moment of reflection to remember Helen and the impact that she had on our lives.
couldn't really bring myself to practice this, so bear with me. Okay. Mum was the kindest, most caring and compassionate person I've ever known. She was constantly putting others before herself, sometimes maybe more than she probably should have. Growing up, I always knew she made an impact on so many people's lives, between being a second mother figure to so many of my friends and the endless amount of foster kids she brought into our home. But it really took this loss for me to see the full reach of Mum's heart and how many lives she truly touched. Just the amount of people who wanted to be here today but sadly couldn't says it all. For a woman who always said nobody cared about her, I hope that wherever she is, she knows how wrong she was. There's such a pressure on the way we live our lives, the pressure to get a good job, make a lot of money, buy a fancy house and so on. But these were never the important things to Mum. The important things to Mum was having a job she was passionate about, regardless of the smaller paycheck. She may not have had the biggest, most expensive house, but she made it a welcoming and safe place to anybody who entered. And I think that means a lot more. It's not about the things Mum left behind, it's the feelings and the memories she left with all of us. Mum will be remembered for how big her heart was. She accepted everyone with open arms and she cared so deeply about others. She'll be remembered for how funny and carefree her personality was, how infectious her laugh was, and how every moment with her was a recipe for a good time. These are the important things, the impression you leave on everyone else. Because at the end of it all, when you're old and your time comes to be put to rest, your gravestone isn't going to say how much money you made or how expensive your house was. Because at the end of the day, Mum's gravestone will say, Helen, Lorraine, Nicholls, beloved daughter, sister, wife, mother and friend. Sorry. Something I admired so much about Mum was how shamelessly herself she was. Even if it meant losing people, Mum was never going to change the way she was for anybody. And this was something she taught Dylan and I from a very young age, that it was okay to be ourselves, no matter what anybody may have said or thought about us. Dylan and I carried that with us every day, and I don't think either of us would be who we are without Mum and how comfortable she made us feel. Mum always had one simple request for her funeral that she made sure we never forgot about, and that was that this next song is played. It was Mum's song to Dylan and I, a message she wanted us to remember, but it's also exactly how we feel about her. The other song in this presentation we're about to play was the last song Mum listened to before she passed, and even though it's very upbeat for a funeral, it's exactly Mum, and we're sure she's probably somewhere by some water, drinking Jack Daniels with Kira by her side, listening to this song and looking down on all of us smiling, wanting us to remember the good times with her and not be too upset. So, yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Rhiannon, for putting that slideshow together for us. It's something that you guys can treasure always. And well done for getting through your tribute, because I know how hard that was for you, but it was beautiful. You should be proud. You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she lived. You can close your eyes and wish that she could come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full of love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she is gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what she would want, smile, open your eyes, love, and go on. Helen's work here is complete, but we know that as we journey through the days and weeks ahead, without her, she will never leave us. She lives on forever in the hearts and memories of those she loved. We will remember Helen as a living presence, as her memory travels with us every day, guiding and supporting us. This is not a goodbye, but a thank you. Thank you for touching our lives and giving us joy. Thank you for the memories that we will cherish forever. Thank you for the good times and your hard work. Thank you for your love and for your laughter. But most of all, thank you, Helen, for being you. You leave this world a richer place than you found it. On behalf of Helen's family, I would like to thank everyone for their love and support you have shown since her passing. May you, her family and friends, find comfort and strength in those living memories. And may you find peace and healing in your hearts as you continue to support one another as Helen would have you do.